You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton here, hanging with you guys, and good morning. Guys, super excited about having none other than Kris Kiser, president of the OPEI, joining us today for a last minute boots on the ground, latest and greatest about what is going on with EQUIP Expo. The show is all systems go, all green lights. The afterburners are on. Registrations are up. Last I was talking to the folks there a couple of weeks back. So we're going to actually have Kris join us on the podcast here in just a quick second. We're going to call him and just get boots on the ground. Like, what's the latest and greatest? What's going on? He is full of energy. He is very in demand. He does a lot of pressers. He's, sharing latest and greatest about the show, obviously, like I was saying. So for us to get 20, 30 minutes with him, we super appreciate that. I will say this, and I think I even mentioned it in the show. If you guys are not registered yet, as you guys would imagine, it's all hands on deck. The early bird registration ends September 7th, if I'm not mistaken, at midnight. You can use promo code Brian to save 50% off. It's only a $25 ticket, but hey, it saves you $12.50. If you guys want to use our code, fantastic. Super appreciate that. For real, it goes back into us making a couple bucks with a kickback that we do get with that partnership. And that goes right back into creating content for you guys, i.e. the podcast, i.e. the YouTube channel, i.e. informational stuff on Instagram that we share. So for real, it really does mean a lot. Our registration's up double digits. Last I heard from the mothership. I don't know what it is. I don't even care. But that sounds great to me. It sounds good. Awesome. We're growing. You guys are growing. So I guess just really quickly, thanks for using our code. That being said, let's dial into Mr. Kris Kiser really quick here, president of the OPEI. And let's get some latest and greatest boots on the ground info from all things EQUIP Expo.
How are you doing?
Hey, doing good, brother. How are you?
All good.
Awesome. You taking a quick minute out of your lunch break for this one or what, brother?
Sure. I'm so sorry about the earlier, when the mayor calls, it's sort of,
no.
That's it. Here's your window. I'm so sorry.
Hey, I'll take second fiddle to the mayor. That's okay, of a major city. So did everything go well or something new or approved or what's going on there?
We're building a downtown dog park for the city.
Whoa. Okay.
I was at a meeting with him on some other stuff, and he was talking about the challenges of downtown right now, post-COVID, and trying to get people downtown because we don't even have a dog park downtown. And I said, I might be able to help you.
Oh,
so
okay. It's
actually going to be a couple episodes of Lucky Dog as we transform a little spot downtown into an urban dog park.
That's pretty cool. Well, I would imagine since you guys brought your corporate offices there to Louisville, like you guys are part of that city. Like you guys are not just beautifying it to like come in, come out. You guys are pretty much there permanently now. Is that correct?
We're actually in the show is one of the top 3 moneymakers for the city, and we're an annual show.
Yeah,
the utilities big show, but it's every other year, and so. But of all the big shows, it's not like Cheer Moms and FFA, where farm kids.
Right.
Our people, Toro and Deer spend a lot of money.
Right.
So it's we're very valuable to this joint.
I love it, brother. I love it. Well, we'll jump right into it here. I'll hit the record button and we'll just kind of full send, as the kids say. But I love getting just an update, like a boots on the ground. We're maybe 8 weeks out, something like that, 8 to 10 weeks. It's going to be here before we know it. So I wanted to get the latest and greatest and see what's going on with the show. So give me the big last push and hoopla and hype, because tickets, registrations are going crazy right now. Everybody's realizing, oh yeah, duh, I got to get that locked in. If you didn't, get on the first early bird registration, April, May, June, you still get that discounted 50% off. But I think that locks down September 7th, something like that. So obviously everybody's scrambling to get it all figured out right now. But what's the latest and greatest on the show?
Do it now. Get that early bird special. Ends right around Labor Day. That's when we'll get a really good sense of our attendance. Right now, we're running 39% ahead of last year.
Wow.
On landscape contractor.
Wow.
And 10% ahead on dealers. So it looks to be a big year if our trends hold as they historically have. So it looks to be a very big year. As you know, we've got a new record set for exhibitor sales already. So it's going to be a big show. A lot of new stuff going on. But do it now. Hotels are already very, very, very tight. Plane tickets are tight. We think it's going to be a bigger than average show. We think it'll be our biggest show ever.
Yeah.
So get here. It's our 40th anniversary. As you know, a lot of big new things, including our biggest arena concert. It's the only one we've ever had, so you don't want to miss that.
So let's zoom out really quick. I know a lot of folks have heard of EQUIP Expo, but we got new listeners to the show all the time, and I always try to do like the Google Earth, like let's zoom out 50,000 feet from the bird's eye view. So I know you do this quite a bit, and I feel like sometimes you're on like the publicity tour, which is awesome. But hey, that's why you get paid the big bucks, hey man. So, but let me ask you this: let's zoom out really quick just to kind of backtrack, add some context. What is the EQUIP Expo? Why should people go? Maybe somebody's new their first year in business, they're teeter-tottering to go. What's your thoughts on all the above?
It is the trade show for the outdoor power equipment industry. So equipment manufacturers and all the related affiliates and industries, et cetera, has a trade show to come see equipment, and we let you test it, right? We have 30 acres outdoors. We co-locate with Hardscape North America, and our education offerings are principally for landscape contractors, tree care, pool and spa, irrigation install, et cetera. So anybody in the landscape contracting business and some of the principal related, it is the place to come and see equipment, to test equipment, to take classes, certification, et cetera. So a lot of folks, we have a lot of education in the landscape space, in the irrigation space, in the tree care space. We actually put up a 70-foot tree in Freedom Hall. We have in-tree training. So it's the place to be for all things landscape contractor. It's 40 years young. We're celebrating our 40th anniversary this year. So we've done some interesting new things for this year's show. But we're a big show. We're 1 million plus square feet, 30 acres outdoors. It's a one-of-a-kind show.
So let me ask you this. So we got a couple of different camps of people listening to the podcast. The folks that have been to EQUIP every year, every other year for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. You've got the middle category. They go every other couple of years, and they love the show. They've been to the show. Let me ask you this though: for the new guy that's listening in, he hasn't been to an EQUIP Expo. What makes it so different than going? I know you just hit a couple of those notes just now, but what makes it so different than he goes, hey, I got a dealer open house. They have a steak fry. They got a little barbecue, with some hot dogs out front. Yeah. And they got 2 brands, on the floor, Kris. Why do they need to go to EQUIP? I mean, it's going to cost me $500 to $1,000 down to Louisville with plane tickets and hotels. So. Not that we're here to sell you guys on going, but Kris is the go-to guy to ask these kind of questions, and I get that pretty much every day on social media, Instagram, podcast. I just did a coaching call with a gentleman the other day. His name is Chad. Awesome dude. He's coming from upstate New York, and he's right there teeter-tottering. He's like, I really think I need to go. I believe I need to go. I think it's going to help me. Can you explain a little bit more about why I should go to EQUIP Expo? So, Kris, I was sandbagging that question that proposed to you. If you got a new guy, he's been in business for a year or two, hasn't gone, but he's heard the hype. What would you say to that gentleman to help him encourage him to get to the show?
You need to go. So one of the great things about our show, it's in Louisville, Kentucky every year. It's a fairly easy place to get to. It's a global show. It's a global enterprise. So we have exhibitors from China and Western Europe and Australia, you name it. So if it's in the outdoor power equipment space, it's likely to be found at Expo. So lots of domestic folks, lots of international folks. So you can see equipment, you can compare it to others, and more importantly, you can test it.
Yeah.
You can see it all shiny and pretty inside where you're warm and dry, or you can get outside and get on it. We have 30 plus acres, we have a UTV track, et cetera. So we want to make sure that you're able to talk to the manufacturer, its engineers, its testers, et cetera, about the real world experience of the product. One of the things that's unique about this year is, California is going into full implementation of their engine ban, their product engine ban. And so we have a lot of new battery offerings, a lot of very significant in the commercial space. Mm-hmm. Lots and lots of stuff available in the consumer space, but lots of new commercial equipment coming in this year to deal with the California situation and, frankly, trends globally. A lot of new stuff in that space, a lot of new software, a lot of new robotics, interconnected stuff, remote-controlled stuff. This is the place to see the latest and greatest. Yes, you might see a couple brands at your local dealer, but here you can see literally every brand globally in one place. Now, don't do this in a day. We're just trying to tell people more and more, take the 3 days. If you're going to make the trek to Louisville, spend 3 days. We also give you those opportunities to engage socially, peer-to-peer, where people genuinely learn by talking to others in the business. How did you do this? How did you do that? So there's some great social opportunities. We have a very nice venue for the opening reception, free to attendees. We have a terrific concert on Thursday night. We have an outdoor concert Wednesday night. And several events that will be in place at the Yum Center, which is a big arena center downtown. So this year we're taking there are real opportunities this year to engage others in like yourselves.
I love it. So for those of you guys listening in that are detail-oriented people, I'm a recovering detail head, but details matter. October 17th through the 20th, we got a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then a half day Friday. The show doesn't open till noon on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. It's a 9 to noon media day, and then noon to 5, I believe it is, on Wednesday. So if you guys do come, like Kris said, fly in early. This is what my friend Chad, I was encouraging him. I said, why don't you fly in the Tuesday night? Make sure you're there. We all know flights have been a little fickle, this last 12 months with a couple of the different airlines. God forbid, you're driving down the road and you have a flat tire blowout and, you got an unexpected 3-hour stop to a local, off the highway tire change place. You got to get that fixed. Things happen. Your employee that is solid, of course, all summer. That's the day or week he needs off because found out his girlfriend's pregnant. That whole deal. I'm just having fun here because these are like all real life scenarios that have always happened along the way with my business. But these kind of the scenarios, like get in on Tuesday, make sure you're there because you don't want to miss an ounce of the show. Because it is that big, it's that grandiose. And Kris, I know you're a big planner guy. You always say, have a plan, have comfortable shoes, have a backpack full of snacks. Like this is the show, and you do not want to be wasting time in line for a ticket because you can pre-register. You don't want to be wasting time not having a plan and walking from one end of the booths to go see your favorite brand and then realize your next favorite brand was like 2 aisles down, but instead you trekked all the way back to the front or to the other side of the arena. Kris, let me ask you this. Talking about size and scope of the event, I think it is such a fun thing because I don't know about other people, but I'm a big event nut. I have a huge case of FOMO like many other people. So help me quantify the size and the scope of the event because people hear, hey, there's this big Super Bowl of trade shows down in Louisville, but it's like hard to explain to somebody what a concert experience is like when they hear just the CD of their favorite band. Like we can tell you words all day, but until you go, you don't really know what the show is like. I didn't. I was like, yeah, I've been to the local boat show at my local convention center, but it's nothing like that. It's so big. So can you like, I don't know if it's stats or the experience, but how do you explain it? How do you communicate to people who've never been, like what the hell they're actually walking into? Because it's insane.
You bet. It's a really big family reunion. It's a private show. It's business to business, so it's not open to the public. We're about 25,000 people. It sounds big, but it's like a family reunion. Everybody in there is in the business in some way, shape, or form.
Sure.
And so you're related to everybody there. A lot of folks, we've got half returnees, half new people. So there's a tremendous turnover. On the size, we're in one of the very few facilities in the country in Louisville, Kentucky, that is of the size that you can have a 1 million square feet show.
Wow.
Plus, it's the only place where you have 30 acres outdoors, literally at the back door, where they let you tear it up.
Wow.
Mow, cut, dig.
Yep.
I mean, we dig 16 feet down. So real world experience. And we want you to get it logistically, right? Louisville is not a great big city. Once you know it, it's easy to get around. And so the proximity of the show, literally it's across the street from the airport, but the proximity is to the show to downtown. We do shuttles. We try to make it as easy as possible to get around, but there's a lot of parking on site. It's that kind of venue to get there. When I say comfortable shoes, as you know, Brian, I mean it. It is a huge building, a huge infrastructure. We take all of the South Wing, all of the North Wing, all of the East Hall. As you know now, we now take all of Freedom Hall, where we do the entry training, where we have a big lunch pavilion, and where we have Lucky's Mud Madness and the National Dog Adoption event. And we've expanded for the first time in our history into the West Wing. It's the very last hall. It's the historic hall. But we're in there now. I think we've already got 40 exhibitors in there, and we're going to have some golf simulators in there, some fun stuff, some new lounges, places. We sold out last year for the first time ever, but we sold all the space for tables and seating and food. And, you had to hike for that stuff. So we've done a better job this year of making sure that there's more food, more coffee, more breakfast stuff, places to sit and eat. And so we've incorporated that. A lot of that, go to the website, look at the maps, look for the folks you want to see, and develop a plan.
Early bird registration ends September 7th. Start planning today to celebrate the 40th EQUIP Exposition Trade Show this October 17th through the 20th in Louisville, Kentucky. Expo. Expo is the best place for landscapers to find the latest equipment, tools, and technology to get more productive and efficient. And then you can go into our 30-acre demo yard and test the products for yourself. Explore new business opportunities in one of our 50-plus education sessions and learn firsthand from experts in landscaping, hardscaping, irrigation, pool installation, tree care, and outdoor lighting. And don't miss the new Thursday night arena concert with Third Eye Blind and Dylan Scott. Also, there's our UTV test track and our main stage events with top-notch speakers like Brian Fullerton, all for just $25 per person if you register during our early bird sale. And you can even save 50% off that price with the coupon code BRIAN. The early bird registration ends September 7th.
Yeah, I love that. Actually, my brother has a company that they're going to be offering some different services that they offer with their company. And they're actually going to EQUIP Expo. So this is their first year for them. He was like, hey, they wanted to go last year. And he's like, dude, we can't. They told me it's sold out. And I was like, for real? I'm like, how do you sell out Louisville? You know,
for real.
Yeah.
Serious.
That was a shocker to me. I was like, that's awesome. But he was on the waiting list, and somebody from the mothership at EQUIP called him up and said, hey, we got some space. And of course, you guys are always continuously working on the show, which is so, some people just gloss over that. You know, I'm a very pragmatic individual. I'm like, look, I've been to things, and some people take feedback and some people don't. And the team I get to work with at EQUIP and many of the other quote unquote influencer folks and guys that are bringing you guys content from all different platforms, there's a really, really good open line of communication between the EQUIP folks and the other folks that are encouraging people to check this event out. Because if we notice things or you guys notice things, traffic and parking was a little bit of an issue a couple years ago. And then you guys bought out the whole parking for everybody. So now it's extremely easier to go in and out. But of course, just like any major venue, bringing in 25,000 people to one location, still gonna have your challenges. So, I always tell people hey, stay classy, have some patience. It's okay. We'll all get out there. But I love what you said about having a plan when you go to the show. I can't stress that enough. Don't just centipede up and down the different booths and the different aisles. That is fine. But I still think logistically, even if you did that and then talking to your friends all along the way, I don't think you're going to have enough time to make it through the whole show and really spend the quality time at the right booths for you that you want to see. So if you want to, the time is limited. We got 2.5 days. I mean, we could be here for 2 weeks. But I would just tell you guys, if you're going in there and you want to see your top 2 or 3 mower brands, or top 2 or 3 CRMs and software brands and handheld brands, make sure you guys have a plan about what you want to see when you guys go there. So that's super critical. Kris, let me ask you this really quick. I'm going to shift gears on you. I know we only get a couple times a year to connect. You're a very, very busy individual, so I want to make sure I'm respecting your calendar. Let me shift gears talking about education and some of the new events that have been coming out the last year or two. The excitement and the hype and the groundswell for them has been second to none. We're talking about the morning show and Energize and a couple other auxiliary events going on. Could you explain those a little bit? Because that is free, best I understand, part of your ticket.
That blows me away, right?
Yeah.
I'm an old man. I have a Medicare card, but that seems to be, a younger audience in there. And it's just, so, it's full. I mean, these giant rooms, 3,000 people where young folks get together to talk, entering the business, new in the business, how to improve their business, how to learn from others, et cetera. It's a dynamic, engaging phenomenon. I go in there, I'm just kind of blown away.
Yeah.
These people come with detailed information. They come ready to talk, ready to learn, ready to engage. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So they're returning, of course. And you mentioned it earlier. We want to listen. As you know, we brought the management in-house. Everyone on staff knows to listen to the attendees. We want your feedback. We survey you, et cetera. You and I talk. We want to know what's good, what's bad, what kind of education offerings. Now, remember, we don't put the education on. We work with landscape management and the irrigation association, and the lighting association, the tree care association, you name it, the people in the space. And so we listen to what kind of training they want, what kind of classes they want that are relevant today, and we want those put on. And so we turn to the pros in their respective spaces to put that training on. We've got some irrigation certification. Well, those people are the ones that come and put that on. So to know all those offerings, you got to go to the website.
Right.
Look at all the things that are there. You have to plan in advance. Like you said, it's easy. You get on site, hit the kiosk, but you need to put that in there, get reserved. A lot of that stuff sells out, if you will. The rooms are full, but you got to do that ahead of time. Lastly, I heard you talk about getting in and out. Again, we listen. So there's some changes in the shuttle drop-off, the inbound buses, the inbound lorries about not screwing up the traffic, as trying to move that many people in.
Oh, yeah.
How you can now get in on Crittenden Drive. We've repositioned some of the entrances. We've moved registration into the north wing. You can learn all that online. Don't come to the main gate.
Yeah, right.
You don't have to do that.
Mm-hmm. You don't have time to waste. You know what I mean? Like, you want to get in there,
right,
see your favorite brand, and then you don't want to be 100 people deep because you didn't register, or parking in the back side of the whole facility because the front entrance is where you're supposed to go in, or park near the entrance where your favorite booth and brand is, because there is multiple access points to this thing, including the outdoors area. So again, like, time is money, logistics. You guys are paying good money to be there. I'm a big value add kind of guy, Kris. I'm like, look, if you're going to go, and I say this with love, but don't be a groupie. You know what I mean? Like, go with a plan. Okay. Like Kris said, it's a family reunion. But you are there to learn. You are there to grow your business, to network, whether with your local district managers, territory managers, company executives, the brass. Like, everybody's available. Make friends. Bring your business cards. Bring your social media stickers so you can do sticker swaps. Like, get to know people. And by the way, if you don't know anybody, that's okay too. I didn't know a single soul 5 or 6 years ago going to this thing, and I made so many friends my first year, many friends year after year, but it was intentional. Nobody knew me, and I just said, hey, I'm Brian, Brian's Law Maintenance. How you doing? So if you don't know anybody, hey, come on out. If you know some people, hey, we can't wait to see you again. And if you've been a 20, 30 year, regular, then hey, it's going to be even the better year and the best year ever, like you said, Kris, because it's the 40th anniversary. Okay, how cool is it to be a part of something that's been around for that kind of a legacy? Not too many things exist like that.
And we're thinking, one of the things we're doing, and we got there's a guy from Guam, great big landscape guy from Guam, comes every single year. To have that kind, like I said, half of the audience comes back every single year, year over year. And so there's something new every year. The other thing, we had our first ever welcoming reception last year. Normally the weather is very nice here that time of year.
Last year was wild.
Freaky cold, right?
No, I got to interrupt. I got to interrupt the whole president of OPEI here. Kris, that's a summer day from Michigan in October, brother. Like, you guys down south are so
I know, we're
soft.
This year, we're going to take that opening reception and they just opened it, the International Convention Center downtown.
Okay.
It's not where the show is. It's a beautiful, beautiful facility. We have music in there, but it's indoors. Same thing. Our concerts have historically been outdoors. The Yum Center, beautiful, newish arena downtown. Again, that's just for us. It's a huge 25,000 seat joint. We'll probably have 10,000 people.
Wow.
So that's an intimate offering with Third Eye Blind and Dylan Scott in that space. And so everything here is for the attendee. It's not public. There aren't outsiders. And so everybody around you is in the business or related business as you stand in line or what have you. And like you said, you can meet a lot of people very quickly.
Yeah. Well, here's maybe the last couple things that I'll contribute, and maybe some wrap up thoughts. I want to be totally respectful of your time. I super appreciate you getting on the show. Here's what I would say, guys. Like Kris said, number one, register. Get registered now. I know you guys have been hearing the podcast, my podcast, Paul's podcast, many people promoting the show. 50 people have a code. That's awesome. Use somebody's code. I don't care. Get registered. The point is, don't miss out on registering because the price is going to go up. I believe September 7th after midnight. It goes up again sometime October. And then you got to register at the door for $100. And for real, it blows my mind, Kris, that people still register at the door. I mean, we'll take everybody, of course. I know you guys will. But that line is 300-400 people deep of last minuters. And I'm like, even if you don't 100% think you're going to go, but you're like a 70% sure you're going to go, dude, it's $12.50 right now. Why don't you just register, save yourself 20, 50, 80, $100. That way you're just registered just in case. Maybe you do have a family wedding or something and you're like, look, I hope I can get out on time and all this mess. Awesome. Like, just register. It's $12.50. You're not going to miss that, but you will miss $87 or whatever it is at the door. Okay. If you got to register for $100 at the door. So like Kris said, number one, practically speaking, sometimes people like want to, run. I'm like, hey, let's walk first. The first thing to do is get registered, get your dang ticket. Number two, get it planned. Like Kris said, I wanted to reiterate that, like, figure out logistics, hotels, flights, driving, a Turo, whatever you got to do. And get the map of the venue so you know where you're going to go. Number three, Kris, this is my last thought, and I want to kind of parlay this back to you, is the folks that go to conferences, I will just tell you guys honestly, whether it's our live event, whether it's EQUIP Expo, other great industry events, those people are growing at a different trajectory. They're growing at a totally different level, mentally, financially, just education-wise with the equipment that's available to them. Those are the forefront, cutting-edge people in the industry. I know that we all have our brother-in-law, our cousin, or a local friend who's got a lawn and landscape business that's going to go, man, I don't need to go to some rah-rah. I don't need to go to some trade show. All I got to do is stay on schedule, and I got a leaf cleanup back at home. And look, I love that guy. I'll pray for that guy, but I will most likely also bet the farm that guy's company is not growing double digits year over year like many of the people that you're going to see at the education conferences, the training events, and your peers at this conference. And I'm getting a little heavy on you guys because I care and I want to tell you the truth. Like, the people that are there, they think different, they act different, they talk different, and there's an excitement and a buzz that you cannot, I'm telling you guys, you cannot financially afford to miss. So look, I got friends that are like, hey, I got to leave cleanup that day and I'm going to go make $600. Bro, I get it. But this is a one-time-a-year event. Take 3 or 4 days. You've been hustling and bustling. Dude, you guys owe it to yourself. Take a 3-day or a 5-day little break. Shut the company down. Tell your customers, hey, I've got a continuing education program that I'm going to. I'm investing in myself. We do everything for everybody else for the whole year. Take a couple of days for yourself to invest in going to EQUIP Expo. And Kris, I'll kick it over to you, but one of my go-to lines, and I heard somebody say this a long time ago, some people treat a crumb like a feast and some people treat a feast like a crumb. Okay. And I don't think EQUIP Expo is a crumb, but catch my drift, guys. This happens one time of year. We're talking tens of millions of dollars of prep to make this available for you guys, to roll out the proverbial red carpet or green carpet for you guys. And then for someone to say, hey man, I got to leave cleanup that day to go make $500. There's a dissonance in my brain that just doesn't connect. So I'm a little bit more hardball sometimes on our podcast, Kris. I know you guys are like, song and dance. We want to love on everybody, but I'm telling folks, like, you got to get there. I don't know what other way to communicate it. So I'll give you the final thought in the wrap up, but what's your thoughts on that? And you can take it away.
Appreciate it, Brian. People that come to the show are insiders. They just they become insiders to the business. You're not going to find there's 1,000 exhibits, lots and lots of product to see, but more importantly, the ability to share it and learn with others who are there similarly. It is, I call it a family reunion. You're missing it, and you're an insider. So if you come to Expo, there are things you will experience and see and do that others like you do, and their businesses thrive. Mm-hmm. So I would say, to be an insider, like you said, take the time, do it. Like you mentioned earlier, get a hotel now. You can cancel it later, get full credit back. Mm-hmm. But it's like everything else. As you get closer to the event, those plane ticket seats get more narrow. The hotels sell out. Then you're playing catch up. This kind of show, we're a citywide event. We sell the city out, and you have to plan for that. Mm-hmm. It's a good city. It's easy to get around. It's a food scene. Louisville, there's a reason we're still here. So plan accordingly. But if you want to be an insider to the business, if you want to grow your knowledge and grow your business, this is the place.
I love it. 100%. And some people are like, well, why does so-and-so like get the breaks, or so-and-so get to try equipment first, or get the latest and greatest, or I didn't even know that existed. Folks, we've been screaming at the top of our lungs for 6 months now. Get your ticket. Get ready for EQUIP Expo. The excitement is second to none. The greater like lawn care community, especially the social media community, everybody that you watch on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, the Stanley Dirt Monkeys, the B&B Lawn Cares, the Keith Kelfuses, and the Lawn Tools, and hundreds, Alan Hain, the hundreds of all these personalities and celebrities and public figures, if you will. Folks, they're all there. They're all there. So come meet your favorite person at the company. Come meet your favorite influencer. Come check out the training in the event. Of course, check out all the exhibitors in their booths with the great products and services they all have to offer. We cannot wait to have you guys there. Chris, that's what I got, brother. Any wrap-up thoughts you want to share with these guys? But, man, dude, you always bring the heat. I love having you on, brother.
I appreciate it. But after the show, tell us what you think. We want the show to get better. We get better by listening to you.
Yeah, well,
come to the show. Tell us what you think.
Yeah, the only thing I give for feedback is maybe we can have like a Cinnabon station somewhere right in the middle of the floor. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just kidding, by the way.
We're on it.
Those things are killer. I love it. But all right, brother, that's all I got for you today. We'll let you go. Thank you so much for the time, and I can't wait to see you in just a handful of weeks, brother.
Very good. See you soon.
Okay, thanks, Chris. Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. Well, real time. There you go. That is Kris Kiser, president of the OPEI, and we're lucky to have him. I'm telling you what, like, guys like that are very in demand. If he's not at Washington, D.C., advocating for us, if he's not at Louisville, Kentucky, doing the song and dance, shaking hands and kissing babies, and working with companies and vendors and people to get folks to Louisville, he is a very, very in-demand person. And so to have him on our podcast for a quick half hour, hopefully you guys appreciate that. I don't really know if there's any much more that we could really add to this. I will just tell you guys, we are going to be there throughout the whole week. I think we're coming in late Monday night. We're going to be there all the way through Friday, and I think we head back, or maybe even first thing Saturday morning. I'd have to double check. But Energize for sure on Thursday, 2 o'clock. I think Wednesday at 2 o'clock at the Xmark booth, which is going to be awesome. That's our booth, quote unquote, takeover with a couple other folks that I know will be joining us. I think the morning show is going to be like 8 a.m., I think, on Thursday morning. That's the podcast thing with a couple guys. Make sure you guys check that out. That's all free, part of the conference in the main hall. Like, you go in the main door, go left. You cannot miss it. And then beyond that, guys, one thing I tell you is go to EQUIP Expo's website. I think it's equip-exposition.com or equip-expo.com. And go to the attendees tab and then check out like the actual event schedule. They have these like blocked out kind of calendar things. You can see all the different stuff that's going on. I know there's a couple different companies that are sponsoring different things for the whole EQUIP Expo. So you can see where those booths are going to be available, and all the different shows going on, from, like Chris said, the Wednesday night 4th Street Live, the Thursday night with Third Eye Blind. Just get the addresses, start writing all the stuff down, get a pen and paper, get an Excel sheet, whatever you want to do. I'm coordinating logistically with like 20 different people, my whole calendar, where I'm going to be. And I for real, I cannot wait. We're bringing a posse of folks. It's going to be awesome. So that being said, guys, you guys have been hearing it the whole time. Everybody's got a promo code. We'd be honored if you used ours. Just here to give you guys the value add. If you guys want to use promo code Brian, save 50% on your registration. We'll leave a link in the description. If you need it, email me. We'll get it to you. It's pretty much everywhere. It's on our link tree and our Instagram bio and the YouTube descriptions of the videos that we got on the Brian's All Maintenance YouTube channel. We got our code everywhere, but either which way, thanks for the support. Registrations are up 39%, he said, this year, which I didn't even know that. That's like real-time tracking and info. Like, that's freaking awesome. Our code is up significantly, like double digits, so super grateful for that. Which means you guys are reciprocating like crazy. And hey, if you appreciate somebody putting out content out there, whether it's myself or somebody else, use their code, bro. It's the best way to reciprocate. They do get a kickback. We do get a kickback. It's nominal, but hey, it goes right back into funding the hobby and funding the message and the mission, which is to help you guys grow a more successful lawn and landscaping business. So that's what I got for you. Super excited about that. We cannot wait to see you guys all at EQUIP Expo. Don't burn all your money, by the way, in EQUIP Expo down in Louisville. Save a couple bucks. Make sure you guys come to LEL. I always say, here's my last line. EQUIP will sell you a mower. LEL will teach you how to make money with that mower, and so much more. Okay, so we cannot wait to see you guys there in EQUIP Expo, October 17th through the 20th. And of course, get your tickets for LEL November 11th, Saturday in Novi, Michigan. All right, guys, over and out. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, and we look forward to catching up with you guys here on the next one.
Early bird registration ends September 7th. Start planning today to celebrate the 40th EQUIP Exposition Trade Show this October 17th through the 20th in Louisville, Kentucky. Expo. Expo is the best place for landscapers to find the latest equipment, tools, and technology to get more productive and efficient. And then you can go into our 30-acre demo yard and test the products for yourself. Explore new business opportunities in one of our 50-plus education sessions and learn firsthand from experts in landscaping, hardscaping, irrigation, pool installation, tree care, and outdoor lighting. And don't miss the new Thursday night arena concert with Third Eye Blind and Dylan Scott. Also, there's our UTV test track and our main stage events with top-notch speakers like Brian Fullerton, all for just $25 per person if you register during our early bird sale.
And you can even save 50% off that price with the coupon code BRIAN.
The early bird registration ends September 7th.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.